Go.
So our abrasion tester is right here. The on switch is right here at the back. So then the sample area is right here. So to load your sample, you take off this nut. And place your sample right here. If you're doing something like a fabric that's flexible, we also have this ring. So you put your flexible sample on top, drape it over the edges, and then put that on top and tighten it if necessary. So this is about 107 millimeters in diameter. So ideally for a flexible sample, you want it to be about 10 millimeters larger than that. And for a rigid sample, like if you're testing a block of wood on here, it should be 100 millimeters squared. So this right here is our vacuum. It connects to the vacuum down there. So that way when you're testing your sample, this will vacuum up all the dust and debris that might form, and that won't be a problem for breathability or anything. So these hold our abrasion wheels, which are down in this box here. So we have a couple different kinds. You can see down here, a medium coarse, mild medium, and medium harsh. And right here it shows you what kind of material to use each wheel for. So you can generally just reference that overview for what wheel you want to use. So we are going to use the H18, which is the medium coarse today. So it's very important to notice, you can see this one is the left wheel and the right wheel. So they are different because they're going to spin in different directions to abrade your sample from every different possible angle. So to turn it on, you just press into this black part here and pop the left wheel on so that the sticker is facing inward, like that. And then you do the same thing with the right side. Just make sure you put the right wheel on the right side, the left wheel on the left side. And you can see we also have these weights, 250-gram weights, on the sides to help it press into the sample and increase friction. We also have these 500-gram weights and 1,000-gram weights. So you want to make sure you always have weights on your sample, and it should be equal on both sides. Just like that, and it'll rest on your sample. So in the software down here is very straightforward. Starts your test. Cycles is how many cycles your test will go for. You can select an exact number here, or you can select anything along this wheel. So we can select 500 for example. Then speed is in revolutions per minute. We only have two speeds, 60 and 72. Select whichever one you want more. The vacuum should always be turned on. Pause interval is if you want to pause the test part way through to examine it and then resume it again. So then you can select how many cycles will go by before it pauses each time. So in this right here is to turn the vacuum on. And then this switches between showing you the time and the cycles that it's done already. So then once you've got all the settings prepped on the machine, you need to prep your sample. So we have an example sample here. It's a fabric for soil stabilization. So you can see it's pretty tough. It's fairly stiff. So this is thick enough that it won't go under this ring, so we consider this a non-flexible sample, and we just hold it down with this. To do that first though, we need to drill a hole so it'll go into this loop here. That's a little more than 6 millimeters across. So to get a hole in your sample, we have a drill in the toolbox here. just use this drill. The closest drill bit we have will be this one, the 730 halves, but this is slightly smaller than the diameter of the prong in the machine. So if you're not doing something like a fabric where you can just kind of flex it on anyway, you will have to sand out that hole a bit, which you might be able to do with our Dremel. Then once you've got a hole drilled in your sample, you can just slide that on like that and hold it down tight with the nut. Then lower your abrasion wheels, the vacuum, and you just hit start. While it's running, you can also stop or pause it at any time. You can see here it's showing you 19 cycles have gone by. You can also switch that to time. It's been 19 seconds. Then one other thing we want to show you with this sample is that this is why you should cut it down to about 100 by 100 square. You can see it's touching the weight and that's moving it slightly to the side. So it's unlikely to entirely make it fall off, but that is why you should make sure your sample size hits the dimensions that are specified in the SOP. Thank you.